guys. Thanks so much for clicking on this new podcast first episode. Let me introduce who and what we are.
That's perfect. Sorry for cutting in there.
This is the I Married a Weeb podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Tom.
And just a little background. So you'll hear my obnoxious voice tell you how much I love Kitty Toast so much from SAO. A lot. And but I'm also a graphic designer and just...
That's it?
All
that, and then all I get is you're a graphic designer.
I'm a graphic designer. Well, I'm thinking in my head, I do a lot of stuff. Photographer, graphic designer, marketing. Just call me the guru.
What do you not do? Why do you think I married her, everyone?
I know, exactly. So, and I love bunnies. So there's a fun little note about me.
All right. Well, I'm going to use that same exact premise. So you've heard, I'm Tom. Motion graphic designer. I like to shoot video. I like to take photos. I like to do a bunch of different types of art, 3D modeling, drawing, the works. And it actually worked out because me and her met in art school, which you'll hear about that later on, of course. And favorite animal? Chicken.
More specifically, rooster.
That's so true. But yeah, this podcast is basically just an excuse for me and her to talk anime while recording it. And that's it.
Yeah, we love anime so much we can't get enough of talking to each other about it. So now we're going to annoy all of you about it.
It's so perfect. And actually, she had not even touched anime until meeting me. So for now, I am the weeb, as mentioned in the podcast name.
And I am the one who married the weeb, and I am gunning for the top spot.
It's not going to take long, folks. It's on the way. So today we're going to be talking about very divisive, but that's okay.
People they love to criticize how often this is highly debated.
Which is fine. It's clickbait at this point. We don't care what you listen to.
And we're going to talk about it. We don't hate either one. There's some shows we prefer
of course
subbed, and there's some we prefer dubbed. So we're going to tell you which ones we favor and why. But honestly, it's just whatever you prefer to watch.
Yeah, this is going to end up being a thing where I think I'll just probably mention. We do listen to most subbed, but there are some that you have to watch dubbed, plain and simple. Because that's the lesser amount. Why don't we start with that? Yeah.
Sure. Do you want to say your first?
Oh, my first, the one that you have to watch in English. As far as I'm concerned, you don't have take this with a grain of salt. I don't care. Watch whatever you want. But I would have to say my number one English dub is Cowboy Bebop.
Good choice.
I think there's a high consensus on that being the one that English is like the one.
Well, and how can you not be attracted to Steve Bloom's just cool ass portrayal of Spike?
I will follow that man to any show he's willing to voice. Except for I haven't seen nearly. You look at his library and I haven't touched most of it, but he has done some of our favorite shows.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
And isn't too shabby.
That would be a great, if I had the time, that would be a great exercise, I guess. Venture down if you have a favorite voice actor to just go through their catalog and just crush.
That'd be cool.
But that is a pipe dream.
So we'll both just go through his.
And we'll both have to quit our job to do that.
Perfect. But yeah, I mean, instead of focusing on the voice actor, I think for me, it's going to be a lot easier just to talk shows. I think you know more people than I.
Oh, yeah. I don't have that many written down. I have a couple notable mentions.
Okay, good.
But if we want to keep on the show train, I would say another good English dubbed one is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, blessed. Honestly, yeah, we've never even tried that one subbed, I don't think.
No, I think no. And that was an early anime for me. Not one of the tops. Mm-hmm. Of when you were introducing it to me, but it was pretty early. Rather, it had to have been like the first 10.
Well, and I think, man, even just every time, like, it never is one that I'm like, oh yeah, that's one of my favorite shows. But every time it's mentioned, I'm I'm always like, yeah, I really want to rewatch that, except for that one episode.
Oh.
That's so early on, too.
Yeah, like 4. I think it's
Show
episode
Tucker.
4. That asshole.
The world's worst.
Worst
cartoon.
dad, worst character, worst everything. He gets the crown.
We hate him. But
if you don't know what we're talking about, check it out.
check out Brotherhood, because, yeah. And I think it's like episode 4.
I said that. Episode 4.
Oh, I just took that, and then I made it my own.
Welcome to marriage, people. Those of you who aren't married, it's just stealing what your spouse says and claiming it as your own.
Absolutely. Hey. All right. Well, yeah. So that's a good one. I think, of course, growing up, Dragon Ball Z, baby.
And that's one that when Super came out, we actually transferred over to the subbed.
Yes, because one benefit, and I guess we'll talk about benefits and all that stuff of doing either one, but gotta say one of the benefits of sub is 100% being able to be a little bit quicker on sometimes the dub takes a little bit longer. I don't know if they're working on that. I feel like, I don't know, but generally you're going to be able to watch a show a lot quicker subbed. So that's why
for sure.
Yeah, so that's why we did Super.
And at first
like
we did not like it.
No, I did not want to. I remember growing up and I had tried the sub and I was like, I really don't like this old lady's voice. And I don't say that as a mean thing towards her. I was just like,
it was just different. It was very different.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not really too into it. But then we committed. We bit the bullet for just a couple episodes. And then now it's like a switch has been flipped. I'm all about her Goku voice.
Yeah, it's hard to go back now.
I feel very bad because another one of my favorites, Chris Sabat, who does Vegeta. He is American, the dub All Might and all that stuff. Love him to death. But
something about it.
There's something about it. I can't go back to the English, except for that one scene where Vegeta is going crazy. He's Majin Vegeta, right? And then he goes, "There's something a Saiyan doesn't lose his pride." Dude, that gets me pumped.
I can listen to that. Maybe not as many times as I can watch Domon Kashu confess his love to Rain at the end of G Gundam.
What a beautiful segue. Another show that we love in English.
And I could watch in either form.
That could go either way, yes. But there's something about the English because the show itself, very cheesy.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Although when I watched the show in full, because we had started it, and I can't remember if we watched it in English or not. We had started it in whatever format that was. I want to say it was English.
Yeah.
And then we went back because you lost the files when I was in the middle of watching it. Was so excited to go to Japan. And I was like, oh, bring your tablet. And it's got I can finally finish G Gundam. And they were mysteriously missing. So pissed. Anyway, went back to actually watch G Gundam again from the beginning. And I watched it actually in Japanese. And when I watched that end scene with Domon and Rain, I prefer his confession of love in English. It's oof.
There's times I come home, the house is dark.
I've got it fired up.
And all I hear is Domon crying out to Rain. And I just go, Danielle, again.
And I can't just watch it once. I have to play it 5 times.
Seriously. Don't get me wrong. Good scene. But
you know what? As a woman, I need that payoff.
That's true. Anime doesn't like to do that.
And it literally the last episode, so I have to take it for all it's worth.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
But yeah, another good show that's
English. Yeah, what else? We've got
Evangelion is good. Now listen, people, we're going to PSA, not the Netflix redone bullshit. The original English.
That was the dub, yeah. I don't think I don't know. I want to not be mean about it, and I would like to say it's not that bad, but it's night and day as far as the old. Why did they even?
I wonder if it's a rights thing with maybe
they didn't want to pay the actors.
Maybe because they're using it and isolating it on a certain platform.
Maybe it was cheaper to get the rights. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate, but yeah, if you are going to watch Evangelion, if you haven't, try and find it not on Netflix because yikes. Yikes in the yard, as we say.
Or just watch it in Japanese, which is
that's
on
lovely
Netflix.
too. Now, I'm already, and this is what's sad, I'm already like, okay, what else do I like?
Yeah, I
in
just looked at
English?
our list, and I think that's it. Oh, Trigun, we watched in English.
Trigun was lovely in English because Vash, the voice actor for that, I think nailed that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Trigun's good.
We did watch Seven Deadly Sins in English.
Yeah. It's okay in some parts. Elizabeth drives me nuts. Sorry, whoever you are. I can't handle the breathy tone.
Yeah.
I guess like vocal fry drives me crazy and breathy drives me crazy.
The breathy on this, I wasn't even fully aware of it until you said it. And now that's all I can hear is her, Meliodas. Oh my, actually, wow.
Listen,
anyone who's
Crunchyroll, hire me.
no kidding. Please don't take her away.
Oh my gosh, honey, do you know what we forgot about?
What?
That is amazing in English. God strike me dead right now. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh my god. They're heathens.
What the hell?
Yeah. So, I'm sorry. That's my favorite show. I think Cowboy Bebop, the consensus is that's the best English dub. But my personal and my favorite show, you're going to hear about this show at least once an episode. I can guarantee that.
We're always going to have something that can be put on that.
I love that show. And yes.
And it is sacrilegious. We have not said it yet.
No, I think
it should have been the first one.
I was subliminally saving the best for last, and I'm going to stick by that.
Oh, because I had a couple others we had watched.
Oh, did you?
I'll just rattle them off really quick. Inuyasha. Sword Art Online, which we do now watch in Japanese.
Yeah.
And, thought I had another one. I guess not. Those two.
Okay. So, our list isn't big on English. I, of course, have Digimon, Pokemon, all of those. That's just because when I was a kid, I wasn't into the sub thing.
What did you watch on Toonami or stuff like that?
Oh, Toonami was, the Dragon Ball Z, the Yu Yu Hakusho. I think Bleach at one point was on there, but I didn't watch that too much.
People do say that the Bleach dub is really good.
Well, yeah,
Which I have wanted to watch. That was something I would watch on Adult Swim, probably. Like when my parents were out on a Saturday and I put my little siblings to bed and I would be up by myself. That was my guilty pleasure. Didn't know what the heck was going on.
So look at you.
But I liked
You've
it.
just been underground weebish.
I mean, that was the one show.
That's fair.
Can I do a side story?
Who's going to stop you?
You.
No.
So pre-Tom, people. So I was on a date with this guy.
Okay, now I don't want to hear it.
And we're going to wherever we were going, and we were just, shooting the shit. And he was like, oh, I like something, but I don't really want to tell you because it's embarrassing. I was like, dude, I don't judge. This is a judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
What's up? And he's like, I kind of like anime. And I was like, all right. I didn't care, but I didn't know anything about it.
And look at you.
And he said, there's this one show I really love called Cowboy Bebop. And I was like, in my head, I was like, that shit sound whack, but okay.
Yeah.
And he was explaining it to me and I was like, okay, but look at me now.
Look if I
could have,
Cowboy Bebop.
and now I love it. And total respect to that guy for being able to tell me. And looking at him, I would not have thought.
Hey, shout out to him. Glad I ended up with horse. Phew, narrowly escaped it. If only you knew what he was actually talking about back then.
I know. If he showed me the gateway drug, it probably would have been over.
Yikes.
Nah, he was... It wouldn't have worked.
He's no me. I hear that.
There's a reason why I'm not with him anymore. So cut the cord on that one.
If we do an episode, all of our exes and why we hate them.
Which anime character is your ex most like?
Oh, Show Tucker much? Oh, gosh. But yeah, so all the Toonami shows, all that good stuff, it was totally fine to watch that in English. And we like picking out some shows in English because it's a lot easier to watch those during dinner. That is a huge advantage of watching dub.
Well, and I think other advantages are, as you said, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't have a lot of that because if I was watching something, my brother would have had it on and I would have been forced to watch it So it's not a show I really am akin to.
Sure.
I didn't have the luxury of watching Sailor Moon when I was growing up.
Yep. So now you do it now.
Now I'm watching it and in Japanese. So it wouldn't make a difference either way if I did watch it.
Well, that's
when I
a
was
difference
younger.
too, sub versus dub. Plus, I think the shows are slightly different.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The
between
story
the
is a
English
lot
one.
darker if you're watching it in its original form.
Yeah.
I'm only like 20 episodes. Or I don't know, however many. You lose count when you start to binge on a Sunday. You're just letting it roll, baby.
I hear that.
But convenience,
Yeah.
you don't have to be reading the subtitles when you're watching a
You
sub.
definitely get attuned to it and you don't even feel like you're reading anymore, but it is always still that little bit of hassle, of course. You'll
Yeah.
have some people go, I truly don't even notice it. I feel like I am listening to it. Stop it.
Oh, I
You're
was going to
still
say that's kind of like us, but
Hey, you, stop it.
availability for dubbed is getting there now.
Oh,
you know, you
yeah.
have Netflix buying the rights to a lot of stuff and making it in English.
Sometimes pooping all over the dub,
As
as mentioned earlier, but that's okay.
But if you're unattuned to it, that's all you know and that's all you care about. And then,
Yeah.
as you said, you know, the Toonami, the things you grew up with, which also links back to the nostalgia bit. And then you got the details, which
The
granted,
details.
sometimes, as we've mentioned, the English doesn't always come off with the right inflections. But again, going back to the convenience, not having to look at and read what the characters are saying. You can actually take everything in at once and you're not missing, oh, did that person just punch this person in the face? Because I was
you
reading
never know
their...
sometimes with the, and I'll tell you what, some sub, it depends on the show, but some you're like, oh, this is easy. And then you go to a different show and the words are flying down there and you're like, well, I'm not even really watching.
Yeah, there's sometimes I'm starting to read faster as we've been watching subbed.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes that people are talking over each other and the translation doesn't stay up long enough. So sometimes I'll have to ask Tom, what did they just say? Because he's a way better, faster reader than I am.
Ah, that's so charming. Thanks for saying that. It's
and
a
I
lie.
hate,
but-
no, it's not. And I hate to criticize voice actors because obviously their job is so hard. And that's never what I want this to be. It's just not what I enjoy. And that's my opinion. And I have a right to it, just as everyone else listening to this does.
You're dang right.
But I feel like we might throw the word cringy out sometimes, or people might say, oh, the way they delivered that line is so cringy. And I think it's, rather than saying cringy, I think you really have to think about how the inflections of certain sentences or meanings don't always translate in its original Japanese form into English.
Yeah.
And just the way us as native English speakers might describe or a situation or something is completely different then.
Oh, couldn't agree more.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep that in mind too when we're watching shows. And
Absolutely. So, as much as the title is sub versus dub, if you're just getting into anime, please do the dub. I want you into anime. That's the point of this podcast as well. We are trying to be this conduit for maybe you're a light anime watcher. You've only watched Pokemon back in the day. We're going to try and give you at least some context of what you can watch to start off, all good stuff like that, because I have now lived through it. I had to basically show after show give some recommendations to keep Danielle here into the old anime, and I believe it's worked.
40 plus shows deep.
It's
worked.
absolutely with only one dud, which we will end up rewatching.
Yes.
FLCL, Fooly Cooley, she wasn't too into, which there's another English one. I like that for how wacky the animation was. The dub worked great. And I like the show. I can't wait to rewatch it.
So let's transition to our favorite dubbed shows.
Okay, that's fine by me.
Now I'll do the best first
Okay.
because I'm not going to do the same mistake we did with
man.
Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter. That's it, baby.
I mean, if you are listening to this and you haven't watched it, I want you to pause where you're at right now, go binge the first arc, and tell me this isn't the best show you've ever watched.
I'm going to go ahead and say don't do that because you might not come back, but you really, really should start this show. It is, it's a classic. naive young main character. You love him to death. You want him protected. And there are some moments in this show. It's up there with Yu Yu Hakusho, same creator. What are you going to do? But love both of them. And Hunter x Hunter was one of those experiences that I will, to this day, always ask for forgiveness from Kavork, a friend of mine who I was supposed to watch it. He told me, you really should watch it if you like anime. I'm like, yeah, okay, buddy. I'll get right on there, but. And months, maybe even a year afterwards.
It was years. I think it was years. It was the biggest regret of my life.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
So we finally started it, and that's where, you know what? Crunchyroll and their thumbnails, don't make the first episode of Hunter x Hunter the sailor's face. It's not appealing. You're not going to want anyone. Just put Gon on there. Him catching that big old fish. But Kavork, he had said, watch it. 2 years goes by. Finally, we start the show, and we got through episode 1. I texted him. I was like, you know what, I have to. So I texted him apologizing and say, hey, listen, I'm sorry it took me this long, but I'm invested. It was maybe not the first episode. It was a couple episodes in, but that show didn't take long to get my heart. And
it's our favorite. I think it's one of the most near and dear. I think Yu Yu Hakusho, I think is, well, I don't want to say overall show because Hunter x Hunter, oh my gosh, the overall ebbs and flows of that show, but two completely different feels.
But
great
it's very
shonens.
Parallel too, though, because they do have a
is.
lot of similarities. Don't get me wrong. If I was the guy who created both, of course you're going to draw some similarities. My mind, I can't even make up a sentence clearly. But what are you going to do? So yeah, Hunter x Hunter, great for sub. Haven't really tried it in dub, I don't
know. I don't think so.
And that's the thing. A lot of these we're going to say,
well,
wow.
I don't think, we watched that on Crunchyroll, and do they even have it on Crunchyroll in English? I don't know.
That's a great question.
I'm not
that's
sure.
Something I'm going to have to check out, actually. But that's great. We also very much enjoy.
I'm going to throw out Attack on Titan. It's fantastic and subbed.
Yeah.
And a great show overall.
That's a
show.
Kind
of get some duds in some seasons, but.
Absolutely. But I think overall, one of the sickest first episodes ever.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
On top of that, very beginner friendly. It's weird, but it's not that.
And terrifying.
And terrifying, but it's not that like textbook weird. So if you were a fan of The
Walking
Walking
Dead
Dead on AMC, you know what? You might actually dig this. And we are constantly trying to think of ones that just are just right meeting in the middle, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's got the crazy plots that you really have to pay attention and remember what happened in each season, because mysteries that you find out from season 1 are still mysteries 4 seasons later, or however. Are we at 3 or 4? I don't even know. I lose track because we binge them so quick.
Yeah, we are in like crazy mode. We're just trying to pack in as much as we humanly can. Trying to at least get some of these, because we're still in the phase where I'm showing Danielle some classics, but we're trying to get caught up, listening to actual current stuff. Listening, what am I talking about? Watching current stuff so that we may be able to talk about it on here.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys are liking the podcast so far, we also have an Instagram that we're pretty darn active on. That's going to be I Married a Weeb Pod on Instagram. Check us out. Give us a follow.
Yeah, we always announce when we have new episodes out, which, by the way, is every Monday.
Absolutely.
And we have every other Wednesday, we try to do a Watch With Us Wednesday. So if you wanted to watch, catch that.
And that's actually a great thing to bring up. So the Watch With Us Wednesday, it's not always going to be, we'll try to announce it the week ahead or something of that sort and just say, hey, next Wednesday, we're going to have a episode talking about said movie, or in some cases, even shows. And then we will, those types of episodes, spoilers, expect them, because it's like a book club. We're going to be talking as if it's expected that you watched it.
We're going to be talking through the movie or show.
Yeah, which we're probably going to start with some classics. I think.
Get your Ghiblies going, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of them.
Akira, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be why don't we do that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anywho, going back to it, also some more, and I love the shows that all come from the same creator here, but Mob Psycho, great
Fabulous.
show. One Punch Man, great. And both of those we had watched subbed and I thought the voices. The good thing with, and it's nothing against the dub or English voice actors, there's something about the Japanese. When they get in that booth, night, they are putting their life on the line, and you are hearing every ounce of their effort. And I know they do, of course, with English voice actors, but man.
There's some kind of feeling. When Goku is powering up and I'm watching it in Japanese, I feel it.
Yeah. Sean Schimmel does great. When growing up, Goku's going Super Saiyan 3 to show the boys. That was that was the longest thing ever. He is just screaming, bless him. I hope he got ice cream.
Lung stamina.
That was wild. But now that I'm used to the subbed, man, that scream's also great.
And just, I think the inflections overall, even just with regular sayings, I don't know. It's just the inflection that they put in their voice. I feel like I can be attuned to them empathetically more.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because our ears are not attuned. As we've listened to it, we've picked up on a little bit of things. Granted, it's not going to teach us how to speak it, but baka. You can at least,
of course, someone's getting called stupid, idiot, whatever.
Yeah, and even though our ears don't know what they're saying, you can still feel what they're trying to.
Absolutely. I think portray. A slight side note to that, speaking of baka, Killua from Hunter x Hunter, I think, has said it the best. The girl from Gurren Lagann said it very good as well. Nothing beats going on Instagram and stumbling upon a baka compilation. Oh, I love it. Killua, I think, is my top dog. But
oh yeah, he's the baka king for sure.
Baka king. There you. Oh, let's open up a burger shop, Baka King.
Oh,
stupid idea.
I'm claiming it right now.
I appreciate you going along with that because I know that it's not good, but
I love it. And I'm not obligated to say that just because I'm your wife. It's because I actually think it.
No, you're obligated. Some more shows. I'm trying to think. End all be all with this episode. This is all just our humble opinion. You could have been so mad at us at this point if you're a veteran and you're like, no, listen, blip, 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 blip. That's not what you sound like, but that's going to be what I'm going to say you sound like for now.
And we also have a Twitter, so if you don't agree with what we're saying, just hit at us.
Yell at us.
And I am not good with Twitter. I don't have a Twitter. I'm more of an Instagram girl, obviously.
Yeah.
So if you shout at us at Twitter, it'll most likely be Tom responding to you. I'll most likely respond to you if it's on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm going to be so heated when you yell at me.
Oh, and he has some comebacks. Listen, he's played video games, okay? My boy has been at...
I went to Xbox Live Academy.
There we go.
Gosh, what a cesspool Xbox Live back in the day. I'm not even going to get into that.
Well, I think the first time I want to do another side story, but we were laying in bed one night and I was like, so how did you used to like shit talk people when you would play Halo?
I did.
And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I just want to know. And he went to town and
I just gave you a couple of the classics and yeah, they were pretty vulgar. A lot of mothers referenced in those. Gosh, so stupid. Anyways.
I felt like I was laying next to a different person.
Oh, yeah.
That was funny.
She didn't look at me the whole next day. I wouldn't have either. It is what it is. Any more heaters of that we've at least watched sub-wise? We have been, and I know we've said it, we've been trying to get Danielle as seasoned as humanly possible, so we've been trying to blast through, but it sounds like you've got another one. Which one is that?
No, I completely forgot, and I even wrote a note for it, because we were talking about shows that could sway between either.
Okay.
And I forgot one that I do really enjoy in English, and I didn't write it on my notes section, but I circled it in all the episodes we watched. I made a couple little notes.
Yeah, we'll give it a skirt. Let's go back.
Death Note.
Death Note.
I love Death Note. I've only watched it in English, although I've heard the Japanese, when you hear lights kind of pleadings and cryings in the last episode is phenomenal. Unfortunately,
Really?
yeah, I've never seen it or I've never watched it in English or I'm sorry, in Japanese, but that's a show that I think does a very good job. And no, I'm not talking about the Netflix movie. I'm talking about the actual anime.
But here's the thing about the movie is, I gotta say, William Dafoe crushed it in that live action
Well, he's the
movie.
man in anything.
He's
So
the only reason it was good. But, well, no, and the movie wasn't good. Sorry. I'm not saying the movie was good. But it will. And this will be mentioned, I'm sure, several times. We have gone ahead and watched the Attack on Titan live action movies.
Oh gosh, you want to know bad.
My goodness gracious. After that, Death Note on Netflix it actually gotten okay by me. And that's considering how they just destroyed our characters. Light was so odd.
He was a simp.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, he kind of was.
Well, okay,
Look at you using that word, but so unsure.
I just don't know if I should call him a baby or not. He is kind of a wimp.
Yeah, I
mean, and the true Light Yagami is a brainiac, egotistical,
he was a little
devious. Yeah. He is so cool. He's like the Walter White of anime.
Yeah.
And he just loses everything in the live action.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't act like I know what the process is, but I feel like, there's got to eventually be a live action that comes out that's decent, even though it's not along the same wavelength. It's not from Alita Battle Angel. I think that was a manga.
That was a good movie.
I'm not sure if that was an anime, though. But I got to say, that one was all right. A lot of people were like, I thought Alita Battle Angel was pretty good. That's the closest we've gotten to like a decent movie based on something like that. But anyways, that's a different story. So anywho, the English dub of Death Note is good.
Yeah, excellent. And the show, I think, is excellent.
Yeah, that's true. Default to whatever you watched as a kid, always remain watching that in dub.
It's very hard when you have, granted, I don't have those nostalgia feelings, but I think if I were to say something like Yu Yu Hakusho or Brotherhood, Full Alchemist, if I were to go back and watch that in Japanese, I think it, just as someone, if they're watching Digimon or Pokemon in something other, it's just going to be different.
That's fair.
Because it's not what's close to your heart.
Oh, that's sweet.
Although Pikachu says Pikachu in any language, so I guess it doesn't matter.
That's true. Pikachu is resilient to any of this mess.
And he's the only one you really have to care about because he's so toot.
Oh, you're gonna act like, okay, no Butterfree for you?
Nah, Pikachu's king.
Oh my!
I just love his little voice.
They're really pushing Eevee.
Yes.
I can't do it. I can't. It's never gonna. Stop trying to make Eevee happen.
It is cute.
Very cute. Don't get me wrong, but just come on. You've chose Pikachu. Keep it up.
Yeah. I did like when we went to the Pokemon centers. It was very much Eevee-centric.
Oh, yeah. There was Eevee stuff everywhere.
Obviously, they're going to have the Pikachu stuff, but if I was looking in the girls section, it was either cute Pikachu stuff or cute Eevee stuff. It wasn't anything
That's
else.
true.
It was a lot of that.
Granted, of course, cute's not what you're generally going to say about him, but I did pick up that Gengar there.
I think he's cute.
Yeah.
Just because I think anything plushy is cute.
If it was up to me, Gengar would be the spokesperson for Pokemon. He kind of is, because he's in that, for the show and the video game, I don't know if it depended on version, but I believe in Blue, you see a Gengar and a Nidorino, perhaps, fighting on the TV. Yeah, Gengar's my homie.
Midorino, is that a fish?
No.
Oh, I thought Midorino like minnow.
No, Nidorino.
Oh, he's the bee.
No.
Wasp?
Honey, listen.
Oh, wait, he's got the horn. He's like the little
He's,
rhinoceros kind of thingy.
Yeah, why not? You know what? You came a long way, and I'm not going to stop you. I think you did great. The progression from a fish to a bee to a horned thing.
There was a purple one and a pink one.
Yes, that's the one. So depending on the gender and all that stuff, we can do we'll play Pokemon one of these days. So
I'll win only because I have all the cute cards, and that's all that.
that's all
If
that
you have
matters.
the cute ones, you win.
I would actually love to teach you the actual trading card game because I know we've played Magic the Gathering together, but Pokemon the trading card game slaps. Okay,
Okay.
that is a sick card game, but just no one plays it. Well, no, people play it. I'm over it. So the final consensus in the battle of sub versus dub.
Well, if we had to battle it out just by sheer ratios,
of what we've
we are
watched,
definitely team subbed.
team sub, yes. Now, what I was going to say, I think mine, it's solely based on your what is going on at that moment. Are you eating some spaghetti? Dub wins, no doubt about it. But any other time, I gotta say it. Being a weeb, yeah, I like hearing me some Japanese, man. Picking up a couple words, and then it's great. Then you go to Japan, then you try and use any of these phrases from anime, and they look at you like, dude, that's so far from how you'd actually talk. Shut up.
This is a PSA. We do not do that. We respect the culture when we go over there.
All we did was basically just say, excuse me, and thank you. That was pretty much all we did.
And it was definitely clunch when you needed to get off the trains because...
Oh, blessed.
Yep. There's a lot of Somima sens going around out there.
No kidding, right? Yeah. So, guys, thanks for joining us on this first episode. I hope we can convince you to stick around. I don't know how we would. I don't even know if you made it here. I guess if you did, then, hey, keep listening, please. Yeah,
thanks so much. And I know we hate hearing our own voices, but we hope they're great to you.
Yeah, we hope that at least, listen to this while you're doodling. Listen to this while you got a long car ride. Or just
while you're at work. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a podcast. I'm honestly, the cool thing is I was a little bit into podcasts, and then now that we're starting this, I've been listening to a lot more. What a cool medium. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, and someone who likes to listen to stuff while they're working, because did you hear I'm a graphic designer?
Oh, are you? Sick.
Or when I'm crocheting or sewing, when I'm doing stuff, I don't like to be lonely. My husband might be playing video games or doing something, and even though we're in the same house, I might feel lonely. So I like listening to other people.
That's fair. It is a cure for the lonely, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Or just if you want to keep mentally.
Yeah, work. I'll generally put on podcasts if I know it's time for business. Or lo-fi.
There's only so much lo-fi, though, I can listen to, and then I actually start to get anxious.
Yeah, that might
Very
be
weird.
Thing. Yeah, that could be right. Okay, sorry. That was going into an outro, and then we went right back into it. So, guys, thanks so much for joining. I gotta say, I'm pretty much done. Daniel, are you done?
I'm ready.
As far as what you have to say. All right. Well, then, if you can do it, can you please tell them that I say goodbye?
Bye, guys.